So let me begin with the chemistry of water. So talking about water, everyone basically knows, especially for environmental engineering student, they will know water based on the physical point of view or chemical point of view, where water is well known as the H2O or hydrogen oxide. So water is basically is the most powerful compounds in the universe. So as we know that water, like our body, a human body, is consists of the water as the most compounds in our body. So I think it's more like 60 or 70% of our body consists of water. So talking about the water philosophies, we could see that water is consists of hydrogen and oxygen, and surprisingly, that hydrogen as the two hydrogen atom in the water molecules is reported as the most abundant compounds in the universe. Most approximately 70% of the universe is a hydrogen compounds. And water also has the oxygen, and as we know, the oxygen is the sign of uh, aerobic substances. So why we are here, why we are live, because of the oxygen, and then water has the oxygen on it. So it means that water is the most powerful compounds, meaning that it consists of two atoms or two substances that has the power on it. This is the most abundant compounds in the universe, and also the other compounds, the other substances. The oxygen is the sign of aerobic substances. On the other hand, the water itself contains hydrogen bonds, ionic bonds, and covalent bonds, where those three bonds um, mostly occur in most of the chemical processes. And as we know, the hydrogen bonds is known as the strongest intermolecular bonds. And water itself has the hydrogen bonds. Basic hydrogen bonds, when we learn in the chemistry, the basic chemistry, in the first year, we will know that hydrogen bonds is the bonds between the hydrogens with three atoms, fluorides, oxygen, and nitrogens. And the hydrogen bonds that we talk here in the water system is basically that the oxygen or the hydrogen from water can get a strong bonding system with the other oxygen or the other compounds. The fourth facts that water consists of partial negative charge and partial positive charge from oxygen and hydrogen atoms respectively. So on the other compounds, for example, the other molecules or compounds, they mostly has specifically a positive or negative charge. Water has the uniqueness where water consists of partial positive and negative charge. These charges open the possibilities for the water to react either with the positive or negative charge compounds, meaning that water can interact either positive or negative compounds, the other compounds. And the last thing that make water is the most powerful compounds is that water has the band geometry, approximately 104.5 degrees, that makes water has the strong dipole moments, meaning that water has the high polar molecule or high polar properties. The high polar properties of water make water can be a good choice for the um, uh, a substance that can dilute or dissolve a variety of compounds. For example, that water can solve the proteins. The water can solve a lot of uh, uh, molecules or compounds, semiconductor, like a lot of chemical, for example, the natrium hydroxide and etc. So because of they have a band geometry, so they have a very strong dipole moment and high polarity. So I think water is the most polar molecule so far. And this is also the good fact that why human body has the water as the most molecules on the body, because as we know that we consume a lot of things, we eat the protein, we eat the carbohydrate that need to be solved or dissolved by the water. We could imagine that if we don't have water in our body system, and then the body takes time to dissolve all of that, like food things. So that's meaning that the body need to struggle to dissolve off all of those compounds or molecules before it can be absorbed by our body. So I think this is the fact that water as the most powerful compounds in the universe, meaning that they have a lot of the complex things to support our human body and also us. If we analyze more deeply about how can water have this uniqueness, or how can water has a strong or most powerful molecules in the universe. So we will talk about the hydrogen bonds. As we mentioned before, that hydrogen bonds, meaning that the hydrogen molecules or hydrogen atoms get strong bondings with three atoms, which is oxygen, fluoride, and nitrogen. Talking about the water system itself, so the water can react or have a strong bond here, strong bonds molecule between the hydrogen and oxygen from the other water molecule. And as we know that because of the dipole system, because of the water has the band geometry, the hydrogen bonds itself provide uniqueness. For example, water has high boiling and melting point for such a small molecules. As we know, for comparison, the hydrocarbons, the small molecule of small molecule of hydrocarbons like ethanol or methanol, they have a lower boiling and melting points compared to water, which only has hydrogen and oxygen. That's why, like, with a very simple molecule, with the molecular weight is 18, the water has a high boiling, 100 degrees, and melting points. The other fact that make water is very unique due to the hydrogen bonds, that water has high surface tension. As we see here, water can be a tough surfaces that can hold the insects here. So as we know that even the water, like, can dissolve a lot of things, they also has the high surface tension, meaning that the surface of water has a strong things that can hold the material, the very small material, for example, the insects. The other things that make water also unique is water has high heat capacity, meaning that the water can hold the heat for such a long time compared to those things that having low heat capacity, meaning that that's also why our body has the water as the most compounds in our body, because they can save the heat on our body, meaning that our body cannot get a cold very in the fast time, in very fast. And water has excellent solvent capabilities. That's what I thought before, that the water is reported as a strong polar molecules that has excellent solvent capabilities, that water can dissolve a lot of things, including the protein, the things that is really hard to get dissolved. And water has anomalous expansion upon freezing. So that's also because of the hydrogen bonds occur in the water system. So on this facts that we can see that hydrogen bonds basically play the important roles here, why the water has the uniqueness. And then this hydrogen bonds can occur in the environmental system.